Hi guys, it's Nick. Welcome back to my channel. Okay, so this is episode 2 of the home series, and I have a special guest with me, which is Mike, my partner. This is Mike that you've heard so much about. This episode, we are going to be walking you through our floor plan. We've gone through a couple of iterations of the floor plan with our builder, but we are going to be discussing some of those sort of iterations along the way, introducing you to the space, some of the decisions that we've made, why we made the decisions we made. We'll probably disagree on some things, and that's part of the fun, and that's it.
We have the floor plan.
We have a floor plan.
We are at least, I think, aligned on it.
No, there's some changes that maybe still need to happen. There's a couple of little swapperoos that I think wouldn't hurt. We're going to discuss that today. So let's go. Also, just to really add, if this is the first time you're watching this, there is an episode 1 where I just kind of introduce you to the land. You can see a little bit more about what we're doing. And I'm going to link to the playlist at the end for the home series so you can watch all the episodes that are upcoming, and then you can watch them all in sequence and see where we're at. Okay, so let's introduce you to the home. Let's put up the floor plan through the magic of editing. What's really interesting about this space, so first of all, I will say that this house is different than most houses that are typical in this region, in that this is not a basement walkout. So typically for this area, people enter in on the main floor, and that's where you have your great room, your kitchen, your dining room, whatever. And then you go downstairs and you have to be honest, people sort of don't really know what to do with that space. And so they might put a bar, a media room, a rec room, kids play area, whatever. I don't like that. I don't think you like that. Well, I hope not.
No.
Okay, good, because that's not what we're doing, so it's good that we're aligned. That's pretty fundamental to this house.
It's a warm climate, so we want to spend a lot of the time outside, at least half the year. And so that's part of it too, is if we're going to be outside, we don't just want to be on the deck on the top level. We wanted to spend, maximize the whole backyard area.
I personally hate where the upstairs is off the kitchen and the great room, and that's usually where you'll put like a balcony, your deck, whatever. And then if you have a pool, which we're going to have, and we really value that outdoor space, because I think if you've seen episode 1, you know there's a beautiful view in the backyard. So we really want to maximize that. And what I hate is where the upstairs sort of breaks up the party. Like you've got your kitchen and you've got your deck, and that's where people are hanging out, but then the pool and the hot tub and then maybe the fire pit, whatever, is downstairs, and they're kind of on 2 separate levels. And I personally hate that. We've had many discussions. Mike is aligned. So by making the downstairs the main floor, you're sort of making that downstairs great room flush to the outside, which is really what we're looking for. Okay, so let's walk through the house. Let's go through the main floor. So right away, it's not really a busy street, but one of the first features that I want to highlight is that we created sort of a screen before you enter the home, where it's kind of got a little area, it's like a little courtyard. We can put some, plants, whatever. But the main reason for doing that is to block sort of the main width of the foyer to the outside, to the street. And we're kind of planning on putting sort of a slat wall feature there. If we didn't put something there, we think that the house, with such a huge wide foyer, the house would feel really exposed, and so we didn't want to do that. So we wanted to make it so we could sort of filter that out and sort of bit of some privacy there. So when you're in the foyer, one of the first features when you walk into the space is you'll notice this huge open to below, and that is where the really large great room is. We're going to talk about that in a minute when we go downstairs. But that was also the main reason for this privacy screen in this little courtyard when you walk in, is just because we wanted to have a little bit of privacy. So that's kind of the really large foyer. If you go to...
I'm going to sneeze.
If you go to the left, you are going to see what is our third...
Should we go downstairs, or are we going...
No, we're going upstairs first. Upstairs first. If you go to the left of the house, that's basically where we're going to have bedroom 3 and 4, which are going to be sort of extra guest rooms. We're probably going to do something like, could be a Murphy bed, could be a sofa bed. We don't really know how we're going to make it, but we want to make it sort of a bit multifunctional. So if we have a lot of guests, like 6 or 8 guests, we'll be able to accommodate them as well. But they're basically also going to double as our offices. So mine is bedroom 3 and Mike's is bedroom 4. And then we have a shared bath shower combo in the middle, which is the first point that I'm not super sold on at the time of filming. First of all, you should always, I think it's a general rule, I think it makes sense to always have a bath. I don't like baths, you don't either. I know a lot of people love the big luxury bathtub. We're not really that type of people. We'll get to that in the primary bathroom.
Having a pool and a hot pool / hot tub. But I'd rather go there than go in a...
Totally. But upstairs is going to need a bath because you should always have one bath. I think that is good advice. just generally. I think if we can shrink your, not mine, but your office a bit and make space for a larger dedicated bath and then a separate shower, a stall shower.
It's already
in that
pretty
space.
big, but...
I know, but like if we could just like scooch it just maybe a few feet. I'm thinking of separating the shower and the bath, but that's kind of TBD. But anyway, that's where we've got. One of the things that's kind of interesting, I think, about this area that's worth pointing out, which sort of changed from one iteration to the next, was we actually opened up that foyer to that area to create these really beautiful areas for these kind of custom niches that we've got great plans for. I think that was a dedicated separate hallway before, but just a small thing that if you can open that up, then why not? It was just going to be a boring old hallway before. Why not open it up and make it a little bit more part of the foyer? And again, you're just kind of adding to that balcony looking over top of the great room, which I think is beautiful. Yeah. So in the main guest area, that's where we're going to have a main guest area, and that's where we're going to have another bedroom 1, as well as another bathroom there. Big plans in terms of the design, but in terms of space plan, I really like the layout of that space. We've also have a nice mud area, which I think is quite common. I don't know, depending on where you live, it might not be as common for you, but I think, in the winter time, we are going to get a lot of snow. It is Canada after all, so it is nice to have an area for us to have a mudroom, so, your place doesn't get all dirty.
Though I have a feeling our mudroom is not going to look like a typical mudroom. I mean, it's open to the rest of the foyer, so we're probably not going to just have our boots lying around everywhere. They're
no, that's not. I don't own boots, but like, I don't really own boots. But if I did, even still, I don't know how much mud will ever actually get into that space. But it's called a mud area. It'll be right off the garage, and there you go. It's nice, beautiful, really large double garage. Interesting feature with the garage. It's called a suspended slab garage. So typically your garage is sort of kind of on your main floor, but for us, it's actually suspended and we have rooms underneath the garage. And the reason we did that, again, is because that bottom floor is our main floor. By entering in, you have the garage on the top floor, and by having the open area down below, we're able to put in a lot of kind of room down there and
maximize the square footage.
Maximize the square footage downstairs.
So we talked about bedroom 2, right? Sort of the dedicated space for, a couple to come visit, and that'll always be a guest room, which we've never had the luxury of having in any of the apartments we've lived in. I mean, I can count on one hand how many times people have actually stayed with us in our
and it's usually like go on your, sleep on the couch or whatever. But here we have a dedicated guest room, which feels like a huge luxury for us. So that's going to be a dedicated guest, and then we've got the 2 offices that sort of double and are kind of flexible. Okay, so yeah, you walk down the stairs, and immediately to your left you have. Let's talk about the great room. So this is a 21 by 26 foot great room. It
wasn't always that big.
It wasn't always that big.
But then we got the first version back, I think, and the great room was not that wide, and we have a wider lot, and so we wanted to make the best use of that lot. And Nick, I think it was you that was pushing to be
100%. They were like, make it bigger,
make it wider,
and they were like, okay, and it would come back like 2 feet bigger, and I was like, wider still, because I wanted it to be, as Mike just said, like, this is a lot that is very wide, and this is a lot where, to me, you're really trying to maximize that backyard, you're trying to maximize that view, and so for this space, the great room just ended up being that size. So a couple of things to really note about the great room. So first of all, we're going to have a large fireplace as soon as you walk in on the south side, so on the left of the floor plan there, you're going to see a really large column. And that's probably, we're still figuring out the design of that, but it's probably going to go to the full height. So again, these are double ceilings as well. So it's 26 by 21 and double height.
This is something actually I have designed. I actually sketched it all out, showed our builder. He's like, yeah, we can totally do that. Looks great.
Yeah. Like I said, it's a work in progress.
Don't know what's happening.
It's a work in progress.
I think we might do something cool. I'm like, no, we already got a design for it.
But it's in beta. So we've got on the left side there, we've got a fireplace. And then one thing that we can definitely agree on is that the wall of windows that faces onto the backyard, onto that really beautiful view. So that is going to be as much of a wall of glass as we can. We haven't sourced exactly what product we're going to use there, but that's kind of where that's going.
I forget the height, but our builder talked to us about, going a higher height for the typical sliding glass that you see behind us is just like a standard apartment size, and we wanted to go in such a large room and with such a great view, it would be a shame to not bump it up a bit. So I think we're at 10 feet high sliding glass.
Yeah, and again, like, this is one of the areas that we've gone back and forth on in terms of the height of the glass. There are different ways that you can save money, and there's some ways that you can spend money, of course, and this seemed like an area that we wanted to spend a little bit more to make that height really impactful. You can never make that bigger. It's not something you can really renovate or update later and make it a little bit better. It's not that easy to swap out. This is pretty fixed, and so, you know, you've paid all this money for this beautiful view, you know, why not maximize the height there? Of course, that type of logic can get you into trouble in terms of the house keeps getting bigger and more expensive.
One of many decisions we made where
we keep upgrading, but this feels like an area that's worth really investing in the house. On the opposite side of that wall, we have a bar area. We really wanted to have a wet bar. We really wanted a space where we could have some storage as well as a place to entertain and, you know, have wine. The Okanagan has beautiful, amazing wine. Some of my favorites in the entire world are from the Okanagan. I love it. So do you. So that's a really great way for us to kind of have some drinks and entertain and all that sort of stuff. Also, remember that staircase is quite open, so that's really helpful as well in terms of, yes, the bar is behind a staircase, but don't think it's like jammed in a corner. It's going to be very light and open, and that's part of the reason why we are choosing to go with a really open, kind of airy staircase. The dining area, fairly simple. I don't think there's a whole lot really going on there. We have some really interesting ideas. I'm going to show a picture of some of the design that we've kind of got in mind for that dining area. I really love to do some really vertical slats on that area, really define that space. But I think it's beautiful. I know some people, we've showed it to some friends and they're like, why not move the dining room a little bit more open so it's a little bit more by the windows? We decided that the dining room we actually quite liked a little bit more in the back. We're going to probably in the summertime eat more, you know, outside anyway.
Yeah, there's an outdoor dining
and
area.
In the end, as you've seen, you only have so much window, so you kind of got to pick your priorities in terms of where you wanted to put it. So the dining room back here, just off the kitchen, and between the kitchen and the bar, made sense. The kitchen, again, not a ton of millwork really in the I mean, there is, but like not really. The big thing is the island. So the island is a 12 by 4. I don't know where you are or where you come from, but that is a pretty large island. No double islands, because you know I hate them, but a single island with a lot of presence. But let's talk about the little taco stand. So because we did it on the bottom floor, this was something that really early on mattered, was can we open up that window and put bar seating on the other side? So really open up that kitchen to the outdoor area so you can really like be in the kitchen, you can, you know, serve people outside, you can give them drinks, whatever, and pass it through to people as they're, you know, in the pool or the lounging area or the dining area, whatever. But that's the kitchen. So let's go to the primary bedroom and the primary bathroom. This has gone through a lot of iterations, especially this ensuite walk-in closet. The original plan was the builder put the walk-in closet really central right off the bedroom. And I think you really wanted the walk-in closet to be quite tucked away, which I was in favor of too. But this was a bit of a puzzle. We had to really work, as you might be able to tell by like, we have a separate water closet there. We have the double, you know, we've gone through a lot of iterations with this, but I really love where it's ended up. I would say the big feature here is the steam shower. So this shower is huge, but it's a steam shower. If you're not familiar with the steam shower, what it is a shower that also doubles as a steam room. So you can, it's got steam jets right there, so you can have it as a regular shower, but it's also got a bench in there. We're probably gonna do something with some really interesting sort of funky marble and have a little seating area, and it's gonna be a pretty cool shower, I think. And again, like we said earlier, we're not bath people. So we don't take baths every day, so it's like, why put a bath in the primary? Just my 2 cents. That's it. In terms of master bedroom, I really want this in terms of design. I'm really inspired by dark bedrooms. I really want a black bedroom. Our bedroom right now is actually fairly dark, but I want to go like black. So let's pop over to the other side of the house. There's a pantry. So again, that's kind of really helps with that storage. So we got a lot of storage there, which is great. The powder room. So this powder room, I think, is a really great opportunity to go super funky. That was another one of my things on the wish list, was a really funky, cool powder room. And I think we're gonna be able to do it here. I'm excited for that powder. I mean, it's the main bathroom for all of our guests, right? Again, bottom floor is the main floor. Probably not gonna use our ensuite. So this is really going to be the bathroom that people, or guests and everything, are going to use daily. Definitely, I think that's a great place for us to do something really cool. Then we have the laundry room. Pretty standard, it's a laundry room. Then on the other side of that, we've got some shelving, which is where we're going to have for people to use for the pool and for the hot tub and all that sort of stuff. And then we have a gym, which is massive. We don't work out enough to justify that huge gym, but we're doing it anyway because, well, no, really what it is it's like, it's an exercise room.
Build the lifestyle you want.
Yes, right, yes.
Not the one you have.
Build the gym that you think you're going to have, or you think you're going to use, not the one you necessarily will. But the thing is because we did that suspended slab.
I got my
I got big plans. Oh, of
20-week
course.
milestone on Peloton.
Yes. Okay, well, good for you. I think that the thing is with this exercise room, it is quite large, but I think the reason for that is just because suspended slab garage is so huge. So we had a lot of this kind of real estate to work with, and that's why we really wanted that really big gym. In terms of outside, so we have a pool that is right off of the living room or the great room. And that was really important to us because we wanted that experience of having these big wide open doors and being able to go from the great room outside and into the pool and a hot tub. In terms of what that pool and hot tub is, we don't know right now, but that's kind of what's on the floor plan at the moment. The covered patio, which is right off the taco stand, is like right off that kind of pass-through station, is going to be for outdoor couches and probably a fire pit, could be a table. We don't know exactly yet, but that's kind of what's going to happen there. And then over by the kind of gym area, that outside area is going to be a pergola that is going to be covered. Maybe talk a little bit more about what your plans are for the pergola, because you've sort of got a vision.
That's where we're going to try to fit a barbecue and or barbecue, outdoor kitchen, maybe a pizza oven.
Definitely a pizza oven.
Yeah.
Right next to the exercise room, so you can work out and then eat pizza.
There'll be a dining table. There'll be, we'll see. We haven't really worked on that, but there's a lot of flexibility. I think we're just going to make sure we can run gas to that area and kind of figure it out as we go a little bit later. There's not a ton of real estate left on that exterior of the house to kind of put the kitchen up against the house.
In terms of the decision to put it there, I will say we spent a lot of time going back and forth between whether the covered patio should cover the seating area or whether it should cover the dining area, and sort of flipping those two. We had a lot of discussions. In the end, we thought it's better to prioritize the seating area outside the covered patio because it was so close to the pool, and we just felt that was more likely to be a space that we're going to use more often. I totally see the argument for flipping it and putting the dining table under cover next to the kitchen through the pass-through. I get that, but in the end, for us and how we live and how we sort of entertain, I think it makes more sense for us to put the couches there and put the dining area a little bit more in this covered pergola. In the end, when you got such a wide lot like this, when you have such a wide home, you have to pick and choose what gets priority over what else, because obviously everything wants to go under the covered patio, it wants to go off the great room, but you just can't do it. You can't put everything under that really, like in that one space. You're gonna have to prioritize, and I think we made the right choice here for us and how we live to prioritize the pool and the entertaining space.
And we also prioritized empty space, or the void, I guess, of in front of our bedroom, to not put anything. Yeah, to have the covered patio outside of that, or just friends that are louder than the average friend. We
have a few of those.
Be out there in the hot tub late in the evening or something, and we're trying to go to bed and just wanted that like kind of peace and quiet and privacy right outside of our bedroom.
That's it. That's the house. So let us know what you think in the comments down below. This again is part of the home series, so we are going to be doing more of these videos. I believe episode 3, we are going to be talking a little bit more about the design style and giving you some of the ideas and maybe get some renderings out for you guys to really take a look at what this space looks like 3-dimensional, which would be amazing. We're really excited to get those back. And then we can talk budget and all sorts of things coming in future episodes. So please subscribe, and I will link here to the playlist so you guys can follow along if you have not seen episode 1, so you haven't seen the land itself. You might want to check that out. And that's it. Do you have anything to say?
No.
Okay. See y'all in the next video. Bye.